about pay the bills? Got some questions there.
HFC cabinets.
That's for all of our new vinyl flooring down there in the lobby. Stuff we put all behind the girls, in front of them, and down the hallways. Got rid of the old carpet that's been here for 1,700 years.
Is that our membership dues, sir, the AWWA,
It should be.
American Water Works Association?
Yep.
Man, they're stiff on dues, aren't they?
They are.
So it's
And we get a lot of benefit from them.
And we actually do.
do it.
That's one of the good associations.
What about Dixie?
That's the easement, permanent easement, the top of 850. And we're gonna put the new water tank for that David 850 system up through it.
I saw that.
Yep.
So you wouldn't just let us have it, huh?
No, so many times they don't.
It's up to do. I think with all the benefit.
She actually scolded her son for it.
Even suggestions?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. He just had him said that. I don't know what's worse. Said she pays property taxes on every year. So whatever she thinks.
As much as you're worth, isn't it?
I don't make 50. I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay, making small. Still like.
So that thing he said.
94.
Summer.
Well, it-
That Orville Atkins group that had coal mining for years up in Beaver area, Kite, and Stores, through me and Mount Brush Creek. Kind of coming in coal. I didn't see well.
Any other questions on
I'll make a motion.
Second.
that? Motion carries. Oh, special projects, financial report.
Yeah, we wrote a couple of checks on the US 23 project this month. One for construction, one for engineering. Pretty good on it.
How we done?
We got, I believe we've got all the main line in now.
Yeah.
And he's now working on the HEMA. And, we started this week on the lift station site, it's just off 23 there, just past Allen and right, near the gravel rock or block plant. So it's coming along pretty good. Has he put some materials down at Stevens Branch for?
Yeah, there's a lot of stored material down
Yeah,
there.
I've seen a bunch of it.
Well, that's starting up at that point.
All kinds of pipe.
I don't think we've done anything as far as storing materials on that yet.
I think he's gonna stage everything over there right now, from what I
That works for
understand.
They
me.
have a hard time finding it, or locating it over there. Sure make them feel better.
Yeah.
How about 100 people want to know what those are?
Yeah.
What's the deal on it over there? On that?
Oh, well, that's part of that Stevens Branch job. It's, he's working his way toward it.
I mean, how are we in pretty good shape on property and easements and all
Yeah.
that?
Mike's got that all himself.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Did you even have to buy an easement over there? I didn't think you would. They're too happy to have the service, aren't they?
On that sewer.
Well, you know, it's just the way things are on at times.
And that's pretty much special projects this time. They'll start picking up a little more probably in the next few months because of the multiple projects going on, of course.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
A second. Motion carries. Any public comment?
I drank a glass of water before I left the house and it didn't kill me, so I guess y'all are doing pretty good. Good.
That $3,000 right away paid off on your end.
Exactly.
That's on his end up there anyway.
I treat everybody the same.
Looks like you're up.
All right. Well, good evening. Good to see everyone. And let me just say thank you all for your service to our commission. I know it's a thankless job, not like school board work. And,
These three don't hardly make it, big money like the water districts.
no. So,
That's
I
okay.
spent an hour signing checks today.
These are, well,
so as you know, we went to the market and I got you an executive summary, so I'll go through that with you real quick. We went to 9 different insurance companies to get quotes. And basically only 3 offered complete quotes. 6 of them could offer partial quotes, but they couldn't cover all of your exposures. So for example, the one exposure that most companies do not like to cover is natural gas. Okay. So that was a problem for probably 4 of the 6. They just didn't have the appetite to cover natural gas exposures. The other 2 or 3 were workers' comp carriers, and either they didn't like gas or they all said they could not compete with what the market was doing right now. So the top 3 companies I listed there, Britt, One Beacon, and Kentucky League of Cities, have all provided quotes. Kimi also provided a renewal quote for you as well. I got you a spreadsheet behind the next tab. The spreadsheet's going to detail each company for you. When you look at the spreadsheet, you're going to notice a couple of things. Britt, your current company, you'll see some coverages highlighted in yellow, bright green. That means they've raised the deductible in those particular areas. Okay. You're also going to notice that everybody quoted $1 million on the general liability and the public officials liability and the employment practices, except Kentucky League of Cities. They quoted a $6 million liability. The reason why they do that is they do not offer an umbrella coverage. Okay? So the other companies are doing a $1 million limit with a $5 million umbrella. You're still getting $6 million. You're also going to show us, I'll show you here in a minute, where the $6 million actually is going to be better for you. For example, in employment practices, you would have $6 million total instead of a $1 million with the umbrella. So if you look at the spreadsheet, you'll see that all the coverages are lining up really well with what you've been carrying previously. You will notice that on the left-hand side, about the 7th item down, failure to supply. Go back a page. Okay, so failure to supply. Kentucky League of Cities is providing full failure to supply. So in case you need a reminder of that, it's just if we're not able to supply service to, let's say, a business, and the business says, I'm going to have to close, and they may have to file suit, feel like they may have to file suit, this is where the failure to supply comes in. Okay? It may be a business, it may be a medical institution, whatever it may be. You want to make sure you have that failure to supply coverage. We have found that some of the companies that we also went to, that was another hiccup with them. They couldn't provide you with failure to supply, or just like One Beacon does there, they only give you 100,000. Okay, that was the other problem. So of course, backup of sewer is included. Kentucky League is a little better than the others. They do $1 million per occurrence, $2 million aggregate. Aggregate is a term that means that's the most we pay for all claims throughout the whole year, all of them combined. Okay. No deductible on your backup of sewer. Employee benefits is $6 million. Auto liability is $6 million. By the way, you will notice there is a slight increase in premium. It's all in the auto exposure. And even though you've not had any auto accidents, okay, it's a national trend. If you're seeing it in your personal auto insurance, more than likely, it's insurance companies are getting hit hard with lawsuits for driver inattention, meaning texting driving. Okay, so accidents that happened like in 2015 are now going to court, and now they're finding out. No, I'm good. Well, I'm not.
Okay.
So now they're going to court. All right, 2-3 years later. they're finding out that they are going to have to raise their premiums to cover all those lawsuits. And you're seeing it also in your personal auto insurance. You'll probably see an 8 to 12% increase in personal auto. And in business auto, we're seeing it 8 to 10% in that neighborhood. Yours isn't quite that, of course, but it is. That's where your increase is. Trying to find some others. The Kentucky League of Cities and One Beacon are keeping the auto physical damage at $500 deductibles, where Britt raised it to $1,000. They all three did quote the same property blanket limit for you. Your contractor's equipment coverage is all there. Trying to see if there's anything else jumping off the page. Nothing else on that page in particular. The next page, the top line is your employee dishonesty coverage. It's $150,000. One Beacon will only do $25,000. So KLC and Brent still doing well on those. Public officials liability, $6 million per occurrence with Kentucky League of Cities. All right. So it's not $1 million plus the umbrella, it's just the full $6 million. Nothing wrong with the umbrella, you would still have the $6 million, but it's all on the line here. $2,500 deductible on that across the board.
What does it say under public official liability aggregate
Again, just like the general liability.
Just with 6 total?
No, means we have all the lawsuits we want, up to $6 million, we'll pay them all day. Yeah. So no limit, that's what it is, on the number of lawsuits. Yeah. So employment practices, it's $6 million and it's shared with the public officials liability. So you've got the full $6 million there, but it's going to be shared. No umbrella, workers' comp, $4 million across the board. Cyber coverage is $1 million with KLC. It's $2 million with the others. But when you look at the total premium at the bottom, KLC just really doing a much better job across the board. Our recommendation is going to be KLC, not only because of premium, but because the unlimited aggregate. Right.
Much better coverage.
They also provide you all a lot of more value adds that you've not had for a while. For example, Mike is aware they have a safety grant, so it's a 50-50 matching safety grant. So if you need to buy hard toe boots, you need to buy helmet, hats, hard hats.
We took advantage of that at least 3 years.
Yeah, we did.
Back when we were with KLC, we bought a whole bunch of personal protection equipment.
I'm glad they came in good because really, and their training is unsurpassed. They offer so many
Who's
trainings.
we with this year?
I'm sorry.
Who are we with now?
Britt. And Britt's doing a good job. We just didn't like how they raised the deductible on those two line items. And plus the premium increase.
Premiums.
Yeah. Okay. So they also have a drug-free workplace assistance program. If you haven't been certified, they'll help you get certified. It's another 5% off of your workers' comp premium if you want to go that route. They have a company nurse on their workers' comp. So if you want to call the company nurse 24/7, it may be an employee who goes home and later says, hey, I think I hurt my back today at the job. They'll talk to the nurse and the nurse will tell them, this is what you probably need to do. You know, go to the emergency room or go to the doctor in the morning.
Don't count if you've been dancing with Haitians.
Sorry, Mike.
It's okay.
The one thing I really like about KLC, I don't know if you're very familiar with it, but they have a service that they subscribe to called Agility Recovery. So it's another tab. Agility is it's available only to KLC members who are in the insurance program. They pay for it. It was started by GE several years ago. It provides you disaster recovery services, meaning if we lose this building, and we got to have this building to operate out of, we got to be able to accept payments. We got to be able to accept phone calls, receive clients, customers. Agility brings you in an office trailer, no charge to you guys. Okay, as long as it's covered by insurance, windstorm, hail, fire destroys our building. So they bring us in an office trailer. The office trailer is going to be equipped with phone, fax, computers, desks, chairs, the whole 9 yards. You'll see some pictures of it over here.
And we keep it until we finish with it?
Yeah, you do, sure do. They bring the generator. They not only bring this, but they set it up for you. They stay on site for like 48 hours to make sure everything's functioning. I personally witnessed this when West Liberty was hit by the tornado in 2012.
Oh, I was thinking.
I was there on Monday helping my buddy with an insurance agency. And so I would go down the street to City Hall, and they were actually backing in one of the trailer units and setting it up. And before I left town, they had the generator already hooked up to it. It was fully functional. This is included. As you'll see, there's a map. The map is actually indicating where they warehouse their trailers, their generators, their phone, fax, and the whole 9 yards.
Well, you know you can't find a generator when
When-
disaster
right.
happens.
I'll tell you another example. Back in 2009, I think it was, we had a bad ice storm.
Mhm.
And the ice storm crippled a lot of our little towns, and so city halls could not operate. They didn't send in mobile units to all the city halls, but they did send them generators.
Generator.
Okay, so they hooked up the generators to these different city halls, which also became areas for people to come and stay the night. So it was really good. KLC paid for all that, of course.
It looks like it's around Pikeville or Hazard one. That generator, see where that one is?
Oh yeah,
It's right close to us. Is that Hazard?
probably.
Yeah, that's it is.
Pretty close.
So what they'll do is they will send Eddie and Mike a worksheet to fill out. And Eddie and Mike will identify, if we lose this building, where would we want a makeshift office to be brought? Do we want it in the parking lot next door? Do we want it across the road? And then we give them that 911 address. We tell them what kind of computers you guys are accustomed to using, what kind of software is being run on those for accepting payments, et cetera, et cetera. So when the trailer is brought out, it is brought already loaded with those computers, that software, the phone, the fax, the whole 9 yards. The reason why they do that is because during the time of disaster, they don't have time to get that data from you. They want to be able to get it on the road as soon as the roads are passable. Okay?
Heck of a service.
Yes, it is a good service. I love telling the story, but until I saw it in action, it was really amazing. Yeah, it's a good story to tell too after you see it in action. KLC, as you know, has a dedicated loss control person that I'm sure Eddie and Mike are aware of. His name is Greg Parton.
Great.
And so you've worked with him.
Yes.
You know he's easygoing. He's not going to be his way or no way with Greg. He's real good about finding solutions to any problems that you may have or something you're thinking about creating and doing. Has a huge resource of video training, etc.
He does walkthroughs in our facilities to, give us pointers on how to make it safer.
Yeah,
He really does.
does a good job. Does a good job. So guys, I think last year altogether you paid close to $132,000. Okay, so as you can tell, we are up. And again, I can show you that is in the auto, and that's not bad of an increase considering the size of your fleet. Okay, most businesses are seeing a 10% increase. Schools are getting hit hard with it, especially. So it's not bad at all. We are well pleased, to be honest with you. Any questions?
I think you covered everything pretty good on our half. Guys, questions?
Well, Sue and I want to thank you for the opportunity. We at Hall & Clark are especially proud that we get to represent our home public entity. And we take great pride in providing you service and ethical service and answering your questions honestly and timely. And we hope you're pleased with our service. And if not, we want to do what we can to correct it. But we're doing everything we can.
Appreciate the hands-on approach you take with it, sure do.
Well, thank you.
Helps these gentlemen here, I'll tell you that.
It does.
Well, good. So are we okay with moving forward with Kentucky League?
I think we
Should have a vote on it, don't
Yeah, we need a second there.
we? Anybody make a motion?
Is your all's experience with KLC good or bad?
Real good.
Real good. It's,
Because we've kind of missed what we've used for years. They got such a vast support that you don't really see. These video training, when we need them, and
they do
the
a great
guy that
job.
comes up and does the walkthrough on the properties for us.
We've known him for years, and, you know, we've used him for years.
Yeah, if you got good experience, then the cheapest, that's no brainer for me.
Yeah.
I make a motion.
I say.
Motion carries. Appreciate it.
Got some updates?
Well, we talked about it a little bit already, these 3 sewer projects are the big thing. Okay, 23 is, US 23, I'm gonna say, the line itself being complete is 65% of the project. Lift station over there now will be another big item, actually. And they've also started work on the Emma 1428 section as well.
Yeah, there's stuff there right now.
Yeah. So those 2 projects, they kind of go hand in hand because of the logistics of where they're at. And we feel pretty strongly that end of the year, possibly run over into January, all 3 projects will be done. Feel pretty good about it. Progress has been good. River Crossings project is, we're calling it essentially done. Is he completely done with his cleanup?
I think there's some asphalt replacement
Okay.
on Bevan Street. Is all
And
it's
that's it. So those came out really well as well, from River Crossings. And then the second phase of that KIA project will be improvements to the water treatment plant that we're still in the early goings of it, what we're putting together. Other than that, I'm pretty pleased with everything running right now. Sure am.
Anything else?
What is their water loss rates right now? Do you know?
Where we at on it, Brian? Upper teens?
Mid-20s. It's
Yeah.
out of whack right now
Yeah.
from what it normally is.
Why is that?
We spent a lot of time up
Yeah.
Betsy Lane and
Out there in the sewer.
That has to be really the biggest reason. We've just not been able to, and we're back on it down here now,
Right.
but we went through a period
Yeah.
of, when I say upper teens, that's our average.
Right, that's what I thought.
Right now, we are probably mid-20.
we had it at 15, 16
Yeah.
legit July of last year.
Right.
And it's
Uh,
where we've
yeah,
been
We've been,
concentrating that
Right.
way, we've not been able to take care of.
we gotta concentrate on what we make money on. That's
That,
water. That's right.
that area up there definitely humming along quite well now because of that effort though.
Right.
You know, we found all those valves and the one critical valve, and we just made that system up through there just outstanding.
Yeah.
We can realistically in probably 2 to 3 months have that back under control. Because with the master meter, we can tell exactly where we need to go. So even though it's a high number, it's readily curable.
Yeah, not like we don't know where it's at.
Already concerned about it. Yeah. Before he gets to 40 or 50.
That ain't gonna
Just
happen.
keeps inching up. We got-
For sure.
That 70% stuff we've been listening about,
No,
60 and 70.
I had John Crum tell me once, 20 years ago, that they were doing real good over Martin County. They had it down to 30, 40% loss. Maybe tickled.
some districts feel that way.
See, as it's been the last year, they probably would be happy to have it like that.
Well, where's the, when you say like 25% loss, where do you see that at? You know? Is it just in lines?
What we produce and what we sell.
Yeah.
It's just,
I mean, but where are those? Where, you're saying you could go out there and correct it. Well, what do you do?
We have 34 master meters throughout the system. So pick one in particular, I mean, they vary from month to month. We concentrate on the big loss areas and work that backwards. But it can be, I think our biggest loss right now would be from right here on this lot south to where, what is that? Western Construction.
Yeah, Columbia.
And the lake
Yeah.
area, that area right here is, I mean, it's right in our back door, but it's where our biggest loss is.
Amazing to say that, but it is a trouble spot for us.
Yeah.
Is it just water leakage or fence? Or a
Uh,
combination of both?
It's leakage mostly. Back a year or so ago, we really concentrated hard on main lines and got all of those worked out. So those leaks were easily defined. Now we're having to back up and it's pretty much going to every meter with electronic listening devices, listening to service lines. Stuff that never comes to the top of the ground, you can dig them out and the water's going straight down.
Much slower process.
Yeah, it takes a
The
little.
further you
longer.
get out into the system, you slow down.
The smaller
We
leaks.
go to smaller lines too.
Yeah.
3 to 5 gallon a minute and it becomes common out there.
But where we are right now with the loss, it's probably geared more towards bigger lines. And so that's why I say in a couple of months could be knocked out pretty quick.
That'd be good.
Once you go down that road of going out, looking and finding a repair, then you're still kind of, you really don't know where you are until the next month of billing.
Yeah.
So it kind
So
of,
there's a lag time.
yeah.
Yeah.
He gets a little grumpy when it gets above 20%. It's been fun.
We will get it cured.
Anything else?
Quarter hour will be on. So,
Next Thursday,
next Thursday. Really?
28th.
I would.
What I said. Yep. Be right here.
Is here at the office?
28th.
So, you signed off on it?
The feds are just tinkering with the water side of it, but next Thursday we sign the bulk of it, because it's the wastewater access, so the bulk of it. And then the water side of it will just fall in place. So.
Yeah.
And I had one meeting with Congressman's office, and the state director of RD, and that is just, like I say, just behind the sewer line, because she's involved in it, the state director is.
Yeah.
Next Thursday is the week that we're going to let them go.
So that'll be a transfer.
Yes, deeds, everything gets signed that day, it's done.
That's the one I was worried about.
Absolutely. Been a long process for all of that.
It's a little bit.
Sure is.
Any comment? Public?
I already made a comment.
He did.
He's not dead.
Drinking water. We've all got the public here, see, we get you.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I do.
I say,
Motion carries.
Thank you, Phil.
thank
Thank you.
you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.